Sant'Apollinare Nuovo is built by the Ostrogothic king Theodoric. He's another Arian Christian, very common to the period, the Ostrogoths. And when we move inside of it, what we find are different zones, different narratives for what's going on. We see parables from the life of Jesus, we see figures of apostles and saints, and we see a procession of the martyrs. And these processions are what you typically see above me as I stand here in the nave, running along as mosaics. This would be symbolism. This would be key to sort of the teachings of Christianity. And let's break down some of those. On the north wall, what you see are the female martyrs, or a group of female martyrs in this case. And they are proceeding from a town structure, which you don't see, to the Virgin Mary, led by the Magi. Each figure is nearly identical. The reason, again, is that artistically, I don't need to create individual figures because we don't know what they look like. They don't have photography at the time. I'm trying to get across the idea of martyrdom, that both men and women can be martyrs. Above them, you will see labels that tell us who each one of them is, because, of course, as they are identical, we don't necessarily see any symbolism that tells us specifically who each figure represents. On the south wall, we see male martyrs processing towards Jesus. The male martyr's rank is indicated by Greek letters on their clothing, and they're led by male martyr Saint Martin. Now, this is added later by Justinian when the Eastern Empire retakes the West later on. So we do see changes in the church as history progresses. That's not going to be uncommon, especially early on. Today we have this idea that when you build a church, it can't really change. But that's not what most humans would have thought throughout most of human history. What we see when we get to the image of Jesus is the miracle of the loaves and fishes. Now note the color of the robe. Jesus is wearing gold and violet or purple, and he has a halo. The halo tells us that this is not a common person. The purple, that he is the central figure in Christianity. The gold represents his divinity, not worldly material ideas. On each side, we see the 2 fishes and 5 loaves that he will use to feed 5,000. So that robe becomes important because it's showing that he is at the center of the religion. Not that he's a ruler as such, but rather that he is the key figure. They're trying to make him stand out because he still looks like everyone else. They haven't developed that common imagery where everyone would recognize a face as that is Jesus. So when we look at it, what you're looking at is an image that's supposed to symbolize really the ideas of Christianity. Not just charity of giving food or the miraculous nature of Jesus, but also Jesus' role within the church. And at the time, when we're still dealing with whether Jesus is divine or not, whether he is the Son of God or God himself, and all of these arguments are going on, this becomes a particularly key image because it really lays out for Theodoric specifically and these new kings their principal beliefs in Christianity.